Dr. Kiran Bedi to deliver the keynote address. Ma'am.
Thank you for inviting me. This is my second visit to the IIT Madras. First time, I think, the institute invited me, and this time it's the alumni. I'm extremely grateful to the Alumni Association for giving me this very rare privilege of addressing the dream makers, the visionaries, the architects, the engineers, the path breakers of this country for the coming years. We thank the past for having set up IITs. We thank all those who envisioned, founded. We also want to thank all those who expanded the concept of IITs. And I believe, as your dean said, we have today with us 23 IITs. And we have about 50,000 plus IITians studying. I do not know how many would be part of the alumni. But why I'm beginning with this, friends, is that I'm a little surprised why has the Alumni Association got energized or is still in the energy model. In fact, every passing out student should commit himself or herself to contribute back to the IIT. Commit as a contract, as a contract. It's like the missionaries' medical colleges, which I'm aware of, in Vellore, missionary college, where I happened to speak at a convocation there. It was very good to see that all doctors and students who pass out from that Vellore missionary college, medical college, they all go back for a few more years later, continuously, to community health, community colleges, community dispensaries, community hospitals which they run. And therefore, while their fee is low, while they are studying as students, they go back and contribute to the society, back to their Christian hospitals. And it's an amazing missionary zeal. What do we do then? So is IIT subsidized when it comes to heavily subsidized. We all earn to pay for our IITs. Everybody contributes to pay for the IITs or medical colleges, which are government run. Then is it not our responsibility that at the passing out parade, we put aside a percentage and we commit and we give and we contribute to the corpus? Had we done this from the time when first IIT was established, India would have been no less than a Harvard or an MIT corpus, because the numbers are here. The numbers are here, and the numbers will continue to grow. So it's all about putting systems in place from day one. When we are heavily subsidized, and why should it not apply to other government educational institutions? Why not? Because most of all, it will bring us a sense of gratitude to all those who are sweating out to generate wealth for running such IITs with such aplomb, with such great resources, with such high quality. And we are IITs. By the way, I'm also an IIT. And I'm also part of the Alumni Association of IIT Delhi. So I did my PhD from IIT Delhi, and they accommodated me as a part-time scholar at that time, looking at my determination to be doing my doctorate. And IIT was my Karambhumi in Delhi was my Karambhumi. So IIT came very easy. But the question here is, we must demand of each other. We must demand. Well, some take a bank loan, and even bank money is public money, hopefully, and not somebody's private money, which goes overseas all the time and gets lost. Not like that. So my friends, what I'm saying is, so this is a demand. For instance, in Pondicherry, we subsidize medical education in a big way. More than 50 crores of half of my medical budget in Puducherry goes in funding the fees of students who just made it on NEET, just made it. But they are nowhere in internships. They're nowhere coming back after colleges to do voluntary service like the missionaries colleges do. And even when we gave away loans to them from the RD welfare funds, they have not repaid. What kind of culture are we developing in these prestigious institutions? Where will India go without a sense of gratitude? Where will this country go without a sense of giving back? Why not? Why should we not offer time, internships, service back to the society in one way or the other? We need to commit ourselves before. So I'm actually inspired and equally angered. But why are we not thinking of this now? So I think this is my first, while whatever I've thought for this lecture keynote is going to be part 2, but part 1 is inspired by what you introduced me to. Why don't we introduce this as a policy from this year? Mr. Dean? Why not from this year? That I commit 0.50 of whatever I will earn from day 1, or from the day I start earning, I will commit to this institute, which has made me, given me all my life of profession, a life of my earning, a life of giving. I commit, let them all commit, and leave a commitment behind. And they should be forming a part of an alumni association from day 1. And then the alumni board could decide what to do with the corpus. You decide. The dean could be one of the members, but the senior most member of the alumni association could be the chairman of that board, not the director or the dean, but the senior most student could be or the highest donor. Highest donor could be the chairman of that board. And anybody who wants to be a chair, the office bearers could be the high donors. Why should we not do this? This is what is done in institutions. What we all pay through our nose. We pay through the nose of our parents, grandparents, properties to go into institutions which are all endowment run. And they've all been contributed by donors who benefited or not. I'm sorry for this lecture, but I didn't come prepared for this. Because I'm a strong believer in giving back. Giving back is critical for a character. If we are only going to be selfish and extract at others' cost and then continue to live a very selfish life, then we will have the India of the kind we have today. It will not happen. It will not happen if we will learn to be givers from day 1 and be grateful to our parents, to the society, to the community, to our institution, to our teachers and elders who are making this happen for us. And including the kind of leadership, whichever is the visionary leadership, that we admire them. Friends, I'm very instinctive by nature. That's been a part of my internal growth. It is not by design, it just happened. So this morning, and I do have my moments of silence on a regular basis. And in the vacant moments, and particularly when I have to address students of your caliber, an audience of your kind, I ask nature to tell me, what is it which will be relevant for that audience? And the answer was, go and tell them a law of nature. A law of nature is, you shall reap what you shall sow. And you reap as much as you will sow rightly. So the inner voice tells them, go tell them to be gardeners, as particularly I'm looking at students, be gardeners of their own lives. And sow regularly, sow daily, because the gardener, which point is, you may have had the ground. IIT is providing you the grounds. You are the gardeners. What do you do with this ground? How much you do? Do you take holiday in your gardening? Or do you choose your seeds carefully? Which means, basically, I'm looking at energy management. I'm not looking at time management. I'm looking at the message of energy management. Look, all of us have 24 hours of the day in our lives. Why are we different from each other? Is not because we didn't look at the clock properly. We may have gone by the clock. Is what did we do with the energy which we got in that hour? Whether it was morning, whether it was afternoon, whether it was in the evening, whether it was the night, whatever time, how did we do our internal management, energy management? And I would like to drive home this one paradigm shift which has stayed with me on energy management. What am I talking about energy management is, how does a student who passes out from here or is a student already totally engages himself or herself, totally, not just being marked present in the class, not just passing an examination, but it is a total personal engagement for the 5 years, 3 years, 2 years, because you do some courses also. How much do you engage fully all your 5 senses, and you're present at that moment, and that you're curious, and then you develop your confidence? It's like personal. And the paradigm shift is, the old paradigm, my friends, was manage time. Now it is manage energy. Second, avoid stress was always said. Now it is seek stress. It's seeking stress, because people like me, individuals and girls particularly of the time when I was growing up, there were no girls in that field. I sought stress. I competed. I was a competitive tennis player. I played a lot of tennis in Madras with Amrit Raj brothers, with Ramanathan Krishnan and others. We sought stress. When you compete daily, you seek stress, and then you prepare to manage that stress by energy management, where you generate energy and you run and practice hard so that you seek stress to win a trophy, to win for yourself, and to achieve in your life. So second is seek stress. Third is, we always say life is a marathon. It said life is a marathon. No, life is a series of short sprints. It's a series of, if you look back, there will be sprint and a sprint and a sprint. And how did you run in that sprint? How did you manage that race is the cumulative result of who you are today. So how did you manage that sprint with your energy and your positive seeking stress will be who you will be after you pass out from the IIT. Fourth is downtime is wasted. It said downtime is wasted. No, downtime is productive time. But what is your downtime? Downtime is not getting drowned in unhealthy food, or in unhealthy drinks, or an unhealthy environment, or unhealthy company, or an unhealthy gossip, or a negative polluted environment. Downtime is productive time. You can choose your time. My next paradigm shift, as I believe, is rewards. It used to be the way rewards fuel performance. The paradigm shift is it's purpose which fuels performance. What is my purpose of whatever I'm doing here? What is the purpose of my being here? Why am I here? What for? What am I going to do with it? I've had some terrible postings in the past, and and they were called so-called punishment postings, and now they're called accelerating postings. For instance, when I was posted as Inspector General Prisons in Tihar in 1993, it was considered as a punishment posting, because nobody would want to go there and work with the prisoners. And there were no doctors, there was no budget, there were no resources, there was no staff, rid with corruption, people dying, magisterial. So I was posted there. When I was posted there, my friends told me that don't go there. We mean well to you. Get out of it now. Because, Kiran, there are only 2 files to be cleared there, 2 files. I used to clear it as a deputy collector when I was also in a joint posting. Files came to me, I cleared the files. So don't go there. There are only 2 files. I looked at my friend and colleague, and I thought, he doesn't know there are 10,000 people inside that place. They're not 2 files. They're 10,000 lives. And he probably never realized what it was. And I had not gone inside the prison. I was a police officer who was sending people to the prison. But I was not walked inside because they never allowed to go inside the prison. But I was getting the product of the prison when they were getting out of the prison. And they were coming back contaminated. And they would come back to repeat the crime. And they would look for revenge right away. And I used to wonder, what is this prison for? I've sent them, is it only a private halt so that I can gain some time to consolidate myself and embrace myself again for the next murder this man is going to commit? I knew what it was inside. It was 10,000 people. So friends, there was a purpose. And I asked myself, while my colleagues is saying, and it's all on record, I've documented this in a book, so I'm not saying it now. I finished that book as a postdoctoral Nehru Fellowship, which I got many years ago. And it's documented there, what I'm saying, when my colleagues said that there are only 2 files there. And there were 10,000 lives. And I asked myself, what is the purpose of this assignment? And the purpose of this assignment is, let no one go out from here and come back again. They must go to never come back again. So the purpose I assigned, there was no performance appraisal, there was no your key performance areas, there was no, you are just posted in government, you don't get a performance chart as you get in the private sector. And there was no measurement as you get in the private sector. That's why government jobs are very secure. They don't demand anything much. You may perform, you may not perform. Still, you'll be Inspector General of Prisons. You don't say prison, you just say Inspector General. That's it. So friends, there was no. So I had to define my own purpose. So question was, rewards fueling performance? No. It was purpose which fuels performance. Wherever you go, whoever you are, in that time, ask yourself, what is my purpose of being here? Even today morning, there is a purpose for you being here. You're not here to mark an attendance. Your purpose is to take away something from here. Get inspired from here. Be part of the larger community today. And then think for yourself, what can I give back to my community for my nation building, for my organization building, so that what I got today, my successive generations get more. Because in the end, we have to make it recession-free life too. Both recession-free for ourselves and recession-free for the future. Not that continues to recede, no. Recession from me by being a giver, and recession-free for my coming generations. So when I found the purpose, to say this is the purpose which I shared with you, things changed. There were no resources available, as I told you. All I had to do was allow the community from outside to come, organized NGOs to come, Rotarians, the organized industrial groups, they all came. One by one, we security cleared them. They all came with bounties, books, time, etc., etc. So friends, this is what it is. Find the purpose. So paradigm shift is not look for reward. What am I going to get? Oh, how much? Will I get an increment after this? Will I get my next promotion? You work hard. You fulfill your purpose. You will never be denied. Laws of nature. That's why I started. You will reap what you sow. It's a matter of time what kind of plantations you're doing, what kind of sunshine. Well, there can be a cyclone, etc. That's 10% of one's life. And whatever happen in our lives, 90% are self-generated. 10% are keep 10, which nature 90 will be 90, and you will wait for a reward to fulfill a purpose. Go and look at the purpose and meet it wholeheartedly by putting your heart and soul and being in it, which means total energy management. For expanding it a little, how did I do energy management in the same institution which had no resources? By walking the prison every morning at 9 o'clock, meeting the prisoners, seeing things for myself, and there were 10,000 of them. Every visit revealed its own problem and its own solution. And solutions came not from money. It was a zero budget growth, zero budget development. With no money, on the contrary, government money was also saved. Let me give you a very interesting example of how government money was saved. Have you heard of where targets are met and government money saved? Here's one example. What our Honorable Prime Minister is saying today as Swachh Bharat, I did it in 1993 in Tihar jail. How? When I walked the youth to prison, it used to stink to hell. A lot of garbage was all strewn around. And I used to ask my officers, what do we do with this garbage? There was a lot, because when 10,000 people eat, and there's a lot of foliage of trees, etc., there's a lot of horticulture waste. And it stinks, and when it rains, it's damp. I had to put my handkerchief on it and walk around. He said, madam, we haven't paid 25 lakhs those days. 25 lakhs to the municipal corporation, and therefore they haven't come to remove the waste. I had no idea what I could do with the waste. So I started to say, what do I do with this waste? I gave an interview, somebody in the media, thanks to the media, because that's a major communicator, and I've been absolutely a part of the media growth, is I shared it with the media. I said, I need your help. I need a garbage manager. I need somebody who can convert this garbage, either remove it or do something about it. I didn't know it could be turned into wealth. And promptly the next day, Casey Shroff of Excel Industries, chairman, he's now probably 96, 97-year-old, still alive, lives in Gujarat. He called me and phoned, Kiran Ben, he was a Gujarati. Kiran Ben, you wrote in the paper you want somebody. I said, yes. Who's speaking? He says, I'm Kaka, Casey Shroff from Excel Industries. I said, Kaka. He said, can I see you tomorrow? I said, sure. Where are you going to come from? Bombay. Very good. I said, very good. Certainly see me tomorrow. Then he came in the morning. Can you take me to the prison? Can we take me inside? Show me where your garbage is. I showed him. He said, I will convert this into wealth. So friends, 93, we saved 25 lakhs from garbage being removed. We earned lakhs of rupees by turning this into manure. And we bought it for ourselves. So no 25 lakhs. So where there is a purpose, there is a way. So friends, purposes are found only when you have full engagement into whatever you're doing, wherever you are. Then the next paradigm is the power of positive. It says, be very positive thinker. It is to be replaced by power of full engagement. Full engagement. To me, full engagement means when you're physically fit, when you value every bit of your health, you prepare, you have a physical fitness plan, and you start your day, or you're careful for the day on your physical fitness. An unhealthy person needs help, but a healthy man gives help to the unhealthy. So your first full engagement begins with physical fitness. These are things which are self-learned. Second is mental engagement. Is watching it's like watching yourself. It's like the mental watch, self-watch, self-witness, self-policing. All these are programs which are in abundance available in this country today, which the rest of the world is fully utilizing. The inner engineering of the Isha, the art of living of Sri Sri, and these sadhana programs of many good institutions, credible institutions, which are transformative. They should be part of education. They could be part of, it's not making into Hindu, Muslim, Christian, or Sikh. It is making you into a complete human being, certainly with the head on the shoulders. So it's a mental stability, emotional management. We tragically hear of sometimes engineers having committed suicides. I read it with great pain, and I start to wonder, did he not understand that engineering is only one part of his life? It is all around it which will make him a real inner engineer. So without being an inner engineer, what kind of an external engineer would you be? As I said, it's part of the emotional. So it's physical, emotional, and spiritual. And spiritual. Yesterday, the other day, I was reading the collapse, the decline of the ILFS going the Lehman's Way. I read it in the newspaper of the Deccan Chronicle, and it was in many other papers. It was going the Lehman way. And when I read the fine print all along, I realized it has been led by a senior bureaucrat. I won't mention the service. Senior bureaucrat for many years. And he was an IIM Ahmedabad graduate. And it is during his time, as the newspaper said, it's open to investigations. And the thick cans of worms started to come out only when he left because of health reasons. That's what the newspaper said. If the newspaper is right, then who is at fault? People from the IIMs, the IITs, or these senior education institutions. So what kind of people are we producing? We produce the best IIM, the best IIT, the best doctor, the best graduate, the best PhD. But what happens when they govern such places? The best bankers, what happens when they govern such institutions. And the public servants, many of you will be sitting for the UPSC examinations. What do you do with the education when you head such institutions is critical. So the article was alarming. When I started to look, and then it's not only his failure. There were other institutions which were mentioned there who had stakeholders, who were players in the game. All of them had collapsed, exactly the way in Nirav Modi or the Choksi which happened. There's no one person at fault. It's a whole chain. We want to see a blockchain. This was the blockchain. So friends, if I were to conclude in this repertory of that managing energy, not time, is the key to high performance and personal renewal. So power is in your full engagement, wherever you are. But the full engagement is not without gratitude. And being an alumni association is being a part of a gratitude club. It's like giving back club. Let me conclude with one very instance which has happened since yesterday with me. And I was sharing this with your dean, saying that, and my friend from the Hindu, who's your alumni, I get your name? Huh? Rajiv. I was sharing it with your dean and Rajiv as I walked in, as we just was taking a chair. Guess what's happened in Pondicherry? I've been there for 2.5 years. From day one, I said I can't sit in a clean Rajnivas with a dirty surrounding, because that's my nature. I can't. I have to have things in order. And as a DGP or as a prison, I had the prison. And as a police chief, as a deputy commissioner, I had the district. But nature has put me into a position where Pondicherry now is my responsibility. So I start to think of, I can't have a dirty Pondicherry sitting in a clean Rajnivas. So from the day 3rd, I stepped out of Rajnivas and start to move around in the town and start to look at the garbage around and start to ask this question: where is the staff? Why is it not picking it up? Why is the drain stuck? Why? The why started out of sense of responsibility. I didn't know media would follow me. It wasn't for a media opportunity. It was strictly for the sense of responsibility that now I have a full Pondicherry. Can I say, this is not mine? I'm not the Swachhta. So friends, from next day, I start to ask, why is this canal stuck with full of stagnant? Staff started to come. Cleaning started to come. It's 2.5 years now. Then this year, I realized that, and the water has been a major issue thanks to the programs which have been launched by Niti Aayog and nobody other than, whose example could be better than total energy management is nobody other than our own Prime Minister. Nobody can compete with him on energy management. He is an example of total energy management. So when water became a priority, we as a team start to get together at 6:30 in the morning and go by bus to an industry. We went to an industry, we found it guzzling away water and not doing anything about it. So it is taking away, not pumping back. But we found MRF, we want campfire, we came through Whirlpool. We came through many good industries, HCLs. We came through some good, who were giving back. But they were giving back in their own area, just in that area. They were drawing out, putting it back. They were doing some wonderful initiatives. But we decided that Pondicherry has to be water rich. Cutting the long story short, when we have the French legacy has left us with 84 tanks, several lakes, 600 ponds. We've not added anything to it ever since they left. And the engineering was so perfect that as the rainwater comes from when it's released from dams here, from Chennai, it flows through these water carriageways, goes into the tanks, and through the water carriageways, the ponds keep getting full, and Puducherry becomes water rich. And one of the areas is called Bahur, which becomes a rice bowl. And when there's good agriculture, there's total employment in the area. It's a population of only 14 lakhs. Going back to the drains, we found the drains were all choked. And they were the major carriageways. And the rains are expected from 15th of October as the northeast monsoon here. So when we call the public works department engineers, by the way, engineers, we call them, and they said, but madam, we don't have the money to clear out these desilt, these tanks and these carriageways. So, which means we will not use that water at all, because it will all get over the roads and people get drowned. So when they threw their hands up, there was one person in the thing. He said, madam, but I will do it. I said, how will you do it? He said, but if I'm paid. I said, of course, that's a problem, being paid. He said, yes, if I'm paid and my past bills are paid, I will clean it up. So I said, past bills, they don't have money for the current bill, and you say past bill, so tell me something else. But I challenged him. I said, okay, tell me, if I pay you, how much will it cost me to clean up this 7-kilometer drain? How much? He said, madam, 5 lakhs. 5 lakhs? I said, not a problem. I'll give you my 5 lakhs. Start this work right away. Is this acceptable? He said, yes, I will start it from tomorrow. Which meant that if he can do it with 5 lakhs, why can't others also do? So friends, I called all the JCB owners of Puducherry. So come, join me. We had about 30 JCB owners coming for a meeting. What we are now doing is, we are connecting a donor with the JCB. Donor with the machine. We are the supervisors. So we're connecting the giver, the donor, which is the giver, 5 lakhs, 10 lakhs, and then the machine man, and many JCB said, I will do it free. Look at the kind of enthusiasm which came. I'll do it free, madam. You give me only fuel money, fuel thing. You give me a driver, or I'm fine. I will do it free. You want to see it happen in Pondicherry? Any one of you wants to see it happen? Come and see tomorrow. All those drains, JCB is cleaning up, which means 23 water carriages are coming through JCB donor donable. And do you know at what cost? Less than 1 crore. Less than 1 crore makes Pondicherry water rich, provides the agriculture, provides drinking water, provides sanitation, makes our tanks full, brings tourism, boating happens on these, just with less than 1 crore. And do you know what was the PWD budget for this? 7 crores. And in 7 crores, government finance said, I don't have the money. Because they would demand 7 crores. Because there was a cut in everything. And here, there's no cut. There's only connectivity. There's no cut. It's only collaboration. It's only teaming up. And friends, this is happening. This is my dream. It shall happen. It will happen. And I'm tapping even the Tamil Nadu JCBs. Please come there and clean up my tanks. And we're creating a system. I've had a very good meeting with CII last night. They've already today mulling over how much can they contribute. So they will pay the machine giver directly. We will not touch the money. But the machine, we will supervise to see that the donor gets the results of the donation he is giving. And also my first donor of 10 lakhs rupees came from my friend called Mary Johnson of Satyabhama University. So friends, I want to tell you, all this happens when your energy management is focused on the purpose for which you are wherever you are. So I do trust that IIT Madras will set this new trend of commitment to giving, commitment to sharing, commitment to community coming together for causes, and then manage it. And I can tell you, you need to have a beating Harvard or MITs saying, "Hum kisi se kam nahi hai, hum aap se aage hain." We are capable of that. If we do this, I think we will be creating that history. Making a commitment of giving before you leave. Wish you all the very best. I'm thankful. Thank you that you heard me with such great patience. Thank you.